Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Delaney. Today I wanted to talk about some cozy Xbox Game Pass games. Some of these games I've played, some of these are like on my wish list. Game Pass has just been so awesome to have, especially for me who's like chronically jumping from game to game and always like really hyped about game releases and like contemplating if I should be picking this up right now or waiting. But anyway, I really feel like Xbox Game Pass has so much variety to it, especially if you're a person who's trying to get back into gaming. You don't really know where to start, or you don't want a console per se, because you don't really need Xbox Game Pass to be on a console. Because Xbox Game Pass, you can use it on your mobile phone, you can use it on your iPad, you can also use it in your web browser on your computer. Before I get started, if you want to hang out in this corner of the internet, I like to do live streams. I've been doing cozy vlogs. I like to yap and talk about video games over here. So if you want to be a part of that, like and subscribe, and let's get started. First game on my list, and this one actually just released on Xbox Game Pass. That is Creatures of Ava. Recently checked it out on Game Pass, and I found it to be such a really cool, unique creature collecting game. Play as Vic, who is a young explorer that crash lands on this planet called Ava, and this planet is actually going through kind of like a little bit of a calamity. There's like a decay that's happening on the planet called the Withering. She is tasked with trying to collect the creatures on Ava, but there's also this like tribe of beings that are on this planet that are very skeptical of humans and them trying to inhabit their planet. What I really like about Creatures of Ava that I've played so far is it's like kind of like Pokemon, but as if you were not trying to fight them. So in this game, it's like you use like music to be able to captivate the creatures, come back to your camp, so you can basically like hold them in an enclosure basically for their safety from the Withering. There are some creatures that have been decayed by the Withering, kind of makes them act out of their realm of behavior because they're usually naturally friendly. So you have to use this like staff that you have collected, get the Withering infection that they have cured, so you can be able to collect the creatures. So it does take a little bit. It's not, I wouldn't want to say battling, passive aggressive battling system, but I really find it so interesting. So the next game on my list, like this is one of my favorite games that I've ever played, so I always have to put it on a recommendations list. Gris is a game where you play as a girl who has lost her voice as she's going through what I would want to perceive as like an emotional turmoil. She goes to these different realms to try to like get her voice back, bring back balance to her world. She gets these like special abilities where she can use with her dress by turning it into like solid object or using it to flow or different things like that. And I think that is such a really unique and cool game, especially because I really love the watercolor, like hand-drawn aspects of the game, and it really takes you through such a very emotional journey that I always just recommend Gris to anyone, especially if you're just starting out in gaming. Okay, so this next game, I actually haven't played this one, but this one, if I can say it correctly, is called Jusant. So Jusant is like a narrative adventure where you are a climber trying to climb this immeasurably tall tower. It's like very puzzle based, and you gain different like tools and things to help you traverse this tall tower. Also have like these very peaceful, calming environments. Like I always like these types of games that are like kind of giving you a challenge, but it's also very calming at the same time. But I am really interested in this. This has been on my wish list for a little minute, so I'll probably end up playing this soon. The next game on my list is Botany Manor. I talked about Botany Manor before on this channel. It's actually one of my favorite games that I played this year. Botany Manor, you play as Arabella, who was a botanist who returns back to her sprawling English countryside manor set in the late 1800s, but she is one of few female botanists during this time, and she's gotten a chance to be able to create her own botanist book of all the studies in plant life she's collected on her travel. It is Arabella's job to figure out the conditions that these plants need to grow. It's up to you to explore her manor and find different clues that will relate to the different plant life that you have to be able to figure out the conditions for them to best grow. I really love Botany Manor so much because it's such a silent, peaceful game, still able to bring you into the world with like the different notes you find about Arabella and like her life during her botanist studies and her trying to traverse this like world where it's not exactly like kind to women during that time. So next game on my list, and this game also one of my favorites I played this year, is Thirsty Suitors. I think Thirsty Suitors might release sometime last year. I actually hadn't heard anything about Thirsty Suitors. I just kind of saw saw it while I was browsing the Game Pass library and decided to play it. I actually do have a full playthrough of Thirsty Suitors that I did during stream, and I really think such a unique game with mixing all these different gameplay elements and somehow working. Play as Jala, who returns back to her small hometown. She's been a little bit estranged from her family. She finds out that her sister is getting married, and now she's trying to like reconcile with her sister, who she hasn't been in contact for a while. She has 5 exes. It kind of is giving me Scott Pilgrim vibes, but she has 5 exes who she has not really broken up with in the best conditions. It's like part cooking simulator, part skateboarding, part like turn-based RPG. I really think this game is just so fun. It can be emotional at times, and I think it does it really well with like Jala's relationships with like her exes and like her parents and her sister. I just really love like everything about Thirsty Suitors. I highly recommend it. So next game on my list, this one I actually haven't gotten a chance to play, but it has been on my wish list as well, and that's Let's Build a Zoo. So Let's Build a Zoo is basically like a zoo management sim where you own a zoo and you have to make sure that patrons that visit your zoo, the people that are working there, are happy. And also you have like a variety of different ways where you can like create different types of animals. There's like over 500,000 types of animals that you can create, and you also can kind of like Frankenstein animals together in a way of like making like a giraffe elephant is one of the things they say you can make. I really think it's such an interesting looking game. I love pixel art games, and I don't play a lot of management sims, but I think this one looks like super cool. So the next game is called Corekeeper. This one actually recently released on consoles, I believe. And in Corekeeper, you awaken as a young explorer in a long forgotten cavern. You're collecting and harvesting relics and things like that to be able to like build your base. So it's a lot of like base building. Also can like have 1 to 8 friends help you with it. I think that it looks so interesting. I really like the idea of like exploring and building a community, building up a base. Kind of gives me a little bit of Minecraft vibes to it. All right, so next game on my list, and this one is actually one of my top. I know I said another one was my favorite, but this is actually like my top favorite, and I think everyone needs to play this game, and that is Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars is a JRPG. You get to play as children of the solstice. One is from the moon and one is of the sun. They're both born on the same day. They are using their combined powers to fight against the evil that is ravishing the land. I really love Sea of Stars. One of my most favorite things about Sea of Stars is the battling system. I've never really been into turn-based battling. I really love how interactive the turn-based battling is. So there's times when you have special moves, you can like block attacks if you press a button at the right time. The story is just something that is just so impactful to me, and I just will never get over how amazing it is. But anyway, next game on the list is Tchia. In Tchia, you play as a young girl on this island who's trying to save her father who's been taken by this cruel tyrant. She also has this ability to soul jump, where she can jump into inanimate objects as well as animals and different creatures, that you're able to like traverse the lands and like solve puzzles through her like inhabiting inanimate objects and animals. Is really cool and really helps you to like think outside of the box. And I think that in general, the like whole idea of it just is really whimsical to me. I'm really excited actually to try this one out on Game Pass eventually when I can get to it. Those are some games that I wanted to highlight that are available on Xbox Game Pass, and I really have been enjoying my Xbox Game Pass. So hopefully you guys enjoy some of those select picks, and let me know, have you tried any of these games? Do you have Xbox Game Pass? What do you think of it? What are you playing currently? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.